Hey, this is Chino Ream signing in for another episode of SC4D. This being the very first episode of the new series by SC4D, where I 1v1 you, and then cast your match and throw it up on the channel within 2 days, so you get a prime view of what you specifically are doing wrong and what you specifically need to work on. So let's kick this off. Very first one. As you see, I'm the red Terran down here, bottom left, facing up against Cubs suck, so obviously not a fan of the Cubs. The gold, he's a gold level Protoss player, and we're looking to work on his TVP, and he picked Steps of War probably because it's the most simple map and short map, allowing for not too much worry about map position and such. The only thing about this map is map control. That's really all you can get advantage. It's not about where you're positioned. It's besides like the middle of the map. Very open, so great for charge lots, etc., etc. And yes, I am telling everybody how I'm talking. You can see me talking down there. Plan that out ahead, like a cool kid. So let's get this match on the way. It's a 20-minute game, so I don't know why I said that. Anyways, I'm going to speed it up a bit. Normal starting, he's throwing down the gateway, getting down 2 pylons, assimilator. You're going to see a Cybernex core right there. I'm not going to worry about my gameplay too much, just about his. So this is a gold level player looking to get up to platinum, so this is where he's got to expect ghosts as well as Ball, as most Terran Platinum players will do against Protoss. As you can see, a second gateway going down, and the assimilator. Chrono boosting out probe still, very good, keeping his economy up, saturating his saturating his assimilators, and getting out the stalker right away to divert any chance of Reaper cheese. Always good to do. Next, getting out a Zealot, but he is supply blocked. If you look down here, I am going for a 3 Rex. Tech Lab, Reactor. Should be seeing a Ghost Academy very soon. They get the scan off and see it's a normal opening, not too much coming. Shouldn't be too early of a push. One thing I find about a Protoss, it's very hard to push off the start, especially against Terran. You can't really do an early push. But same with Terran though, unless you really 4 racks quick, you can't really push off the start because the defensive advantage is just too great, and whoever pushes first in too early in this matchup, unless at a huge advantage, will usually end up down and being countered. And this happens in this game because I get a little too antsy, and I don't know what it was, but I was so hyper for this game. I just won a huge PvT league game. I was really proud of myself, and I was just really antsy, and it's like I had a lot of sugar, I guess you could say, too. Looking over here, we can see the robotics facility up. 2-gate robo, very standard, good play, getting out those immortals quick, because they are great against I think it's against Marauders. I can't remember what they're good against. They're good against Marauders, bad against Marines, I think. Really bad against Ghosts. So here we have a confrontation, and my Ghost coming in way too late here. And I did not micro anything. I got this stim down on like 5-6 units, but it was a bit too late by then. And I tried to salvage my Ghost. As you can see, I didn't have stim either. Not a huge fan of stim off the start because it wastes their life when you don't have a medevac, but can help save your life, so you do want to get it right away, and I just started now. So I'm still in a position to defend, but they are going to get into my base. Good push here by Cubs, getting more units, keeping more units, and he's going to push into my base and try and take me out. I've still got 2 ghosts. I'm going to get those EMPs down, hopefully, soon. There's the EMP. Really wounding his units, except he takes out everything I have, and it looks like he's going to finish this game off quickly. But me never giving up, I'm bringing out the SCVs. I know they'll have low health, and 2 Marauders cleaning up his forest. So I'm still in it. I just need to rebound. Send my guys back to work, fix my wall, and keep producing. I just have enough minerals to keep in the game, and still hardly down in supply. If we check the harvester's income, I almost have as much harvester's coming. Maybe, probably because he just did not boost enough out with the chrono boost. He did boost a lot of immortals out, but maybe too many boosts, not enough probes. As you can see, not building any probes. So one tip to Cubs is to continually produce probes, and don't even be afraid to chrono boost them out mid-late game, especially when you're expanding. So we do see the expansion, definitely a good play. The only problem is 2 warp gates. He has the money to throw at least, well, no more than 2 more warp gates down, transform it into a 4-gate robo, and with this coming up, this expansion, he will eventually have the economy to produce out of 4 warp gates. As of right now, he can only produce out 3, but that not much of a problem as he only has 2. Another thing I would have liked him to do would be to throw down a proxy pylon while he was out here and start warping in units there, have his units building up here. As an attack like that, leaving me pretty crippled, is not, you're not going to see a counter from me anytime soon. You can be pretty safe that I'm not going to try a counter. So this is where the gameplay starts going downhill, as not many units coming out. The forge upgrading, so we got upgrades. We got the Twilight Council, so hopefully going to see a HT soon. But not enough warp gates, not enough producing structures. He's got the economy, as you see, his expansion is up and going and chrono boosting those out, so he's shortly going to have the economy. As you can see, it's climbing above mine. But just not enough productions. This is where 4 gates are needed, maybe 5 or 6, as you go along from mid-game. As you can see, it's still pretty early mid-game. I guess you can't see it because it's covered by my banner. I'm dumb, but we're 12 minutes. Oh, you can see it over here. I'm clueless today. Sorry. 13 minutes in, and he could use at least 2 more gates here. By the time you get to late game, mid-late game, you want to get as many as you can, really. You'll have the economy if you're surviving that long without getting harassed too badly. If you have the economy, get as many as you can, because that's quicker warp, or units, quicker road to a 200 army. And as you can see, Templar Archives coming down, so we're going to see some HTs, but we just do not see enough army. This whole time he has been worrying about his expansion. He's got his expansion up. That doesn't mean he couldn't have thrown down more gateways while he was at it. A third finally going down. Observer coming out. What else has he got? He's got his upgrades going, so that's good, but his army is just lacking. He hasn't been producing units for the past 2 or 3 minutes. And me in defensive position, just trying to stay alive, got my economy back up, got the expansion going finally, and just have enough minerals to survive and get out this sizable force. Now, if he had been pressuring me the whole time, warping in more units, pressuring me, or building up an army, even just poking into my base, or even full out harassing me, getting some sort of harassment going, blink stalkers would have been nice. If he had been able to do that, I would have spent way too much money on producing units and static defense, and probably would not have enough to keep my economy going. If he had any chance to kill any SCVs, get my economy down, I really would have been done, because I barely had enough minerals to get up to the point where I'm at now. I barely made it there, and that's without any kind of harassment from him at all. And so he let me back into this game, and he let me build up this army. Now, that doesn't mean I'm in a prime example in a normal game where my enemy would be producing much more units, but in this case he just hasn't been producing units. He has not been warping in units. These gateways have been sitting with one charge for the same charge, or for like 5 minutes almost now. If he could have been warping them in every couple minutes at least, and gotten such a more sizable force. He has 17k minerals. He could have 5 more warp gates. He could be up to 8 warp gates and still have enough money to produce out of every single one, and still have enough to produce more immortals. So his macro just slipping as he goes. Maybe why do I keep doing that? The tension just building up, and he's just letting his macro slide. So as you can see, I'm checking for a third expansion, or a second expansion, third base, as if he had continued going, he could have even gotten a third expansion and gotten his army up and just really have a great macro, but I scan his force and see that he has nothing because he has not been producing units. So I'm just going to push in here and clean up as much as I can. He has the storms, they do go down, doing a lot of damage, but I sent out the EMPs and just eat his units up in no time. He just does not have a chance here, and I'm just going to walk into his base and take out this Nexus. And now, all of a sudden, he's got all these warp gates and all this money, but he's just not producing anything. As you can see, still finally getting 3 down. Cool time, just stopping him from having any chance. He gets a bunch of Templars. I know they're coming, I know he has Templars, I searched them, so I have my ghosts ready, and I'm going to get off the EMP right there on every single one. Not one of them can produce a psionic storm now. So with that, with no army, he's pretty much out of this game. And as much as I can say for Cubs is produce a unit, get those production facilities out, and then get more units, because he had all this time to and all the money to. He just didn't. He worried too much about it. He got his expansion up, he may have worried too much about that, he worried too much about getting HTs out. And I think my best tip to you is just to keep working and keep playing, because the multitasking will come as you get better, and you'll hopefully remember to throw down more warp gates and produce more units. Make sure you're consistently producing units. If you're at a point where you can't consistently produce units because you don't have enough minerals, that's because you either don't have an expansion fully running, or because you've got too much buildings, warp gates, etc. to produce out of every single one of them, and it's taking its toll. But as you can see in this case, it's the extreme opposite. He does not have enough warp gates and is not able to produce enough units out of it. So if he got more warp gates and continually produced units throughout that 10 minutes between his initial attack and then my counter, he probably would have been able to defend off this attack, especially with those HDs, and he would have been able to push me off, build up another quick force with a bunch of warp gates, and counter me while I have to wait for my force to produce out of 3 barracks, 3 at a time. So that being said, this is the first installment of Chino's 1v1 segment. I need a name for it. If you have a name, if you can think of a name that goes well for this, post in the comment below, that'd be really helpful. So that is everything for this game. Hope you guys learned a lot. Cubs, hope you take a lot out of this, and hope to see you in Platinum very soon. This is Chino Reams signing out.